2025. The scientific spiritual bridge strengthens. Consciousness becomes a legitimate frontier of science. This new era begins with the profound merging of science and the sacred through neuroscience and mysticism convergence. Institutions like Stanford, MIT, and Johns Hopkins use fMRI, EEG, and neurochemical mapping to study advanced meditators, mystics, and psychedelic experiences. Results show whole brain coherence, neurosynchrony, and altered time perception. A study shows that long-term meditators exhibit brainwave patterns associated with global unity and timelessness, mirroring ancient descriptions of samadhi or satori. Mystical states gain scientific legitimacy. Spiritual practice is reframed as advanced neural training. This growing acceptance flows into secular mainstream meditation. Apps like Waking Up or Neurospace offer meditation modules teaching ego dissolution, presence, and surrender, without religious framing. Corporate wellness programs begin integrating spiritual intelligence, or SQ. Employees at a Fortune 500 firm attend weekly stillness labs, using non-denominational practices to cultivate intuition and insight. Spirituality becomes normalized, accessible, and destigmatized. Meanwhile, altered states receive structured support through psychedelic integration coaching. With psychedelic therapy expanding, certified coaches help users integrate non-ordinary states through journaling, somatic therapy, and narrative restructuring. After a legal psilocybin journey in Oregon, a user works with an AI plus human coach to unpack visions, rewire trauma loops, and reframe identity. Spiritual awakenings become supported, structured, and psychologically safe. 2026. Conscious tech and digital awakening tools emerge. Technology becomes a portal to transcendence. That fusion of consciousness and science now enters a technological realm with consciousness-enhancing wearables. Devices like Kernel Flow and Sense AI detect brainwave states, alpha, gamma, delta, and guide users into coherence using neurofeedback, breath pacing, or sound cues. You put on a headset, and a guided voice plus visual field trains your brain into gamma synchrony, linked with insight, joy, and mystical awareness. Spiritual access becomes replicable. Technology becomes a sacred tool. From the body to the mind's edge, users step into digital divinity through VR simulated transcendence. VR recreates death, rebirth journeys, ego dissolution, or cosmic archetypes using sound, immersive visuals, and AI narrative generation. You enter the void, a digital experience simulating ego death. You exit tearfully with a deeper sense of connection to life. Spiritual states become experiential, not just conceptual. For those walking personal paths, wisdom becomes interactive with AI spiritual guides. Custom GPTs trained on spiritual masters like Alan Watts or Ram Dass offer wisdom, meditations, or koan responses, adapting to your path. You ask, what should I do about my fear of death? Your AI, channeling Rumi and Watts, replies with poetic depth and reflection prompts. Digital tools begin offering timeless spiritual companionship. 2027. Inner realms become mapped and measurable. Consciousness becomes a new frontier of exploration. Now that access is widespread, inner terrain becomes charted through consciousness maps. Neuroscience merges with frameworks like Hawkins' map of consciousness and Wilber's integral theory. Abstract shifts from fear to love to transcendence via speech, tone, and biometric data. Your app notifies you've spent more time in acceptance and love this month. Patterns of contraction, shame, guilt are declining. Inner states become visible and trainable. Consciousness gains a common language. Exploration deepens into the unconscious through dream and astral exploration platforms. Lucid dream induction devices, journaling apps, and decentralized dream sharing communities help users explore inner realms together. You join the Onaironaut Collective. Every morning, people log dreams, patterns emerge, collective archetypes, shared symbols, and synchronicities. The unconscious becomes collaborative. Dreaming becomes a conscious skill. In the waking world, the self becomes even more watchful through ego awareness as daily practice. People log and track egoic reactions, defensiveness, self-importance, projection, through guided reflection and emotion tracking wearables. Your app detects frustration in your speech. It prompts, pause. Was that the ego reacting? You reflect before replying. Ego becomes observable, not an identity, but a pattern. 2028. Collective awakening accelerates. Spiritual transformation becomes synchronized and social. With individuals evolving, the collective follows, starting with global meditation altering Earth's field. Data from magnetometers and biometric studies show synchronized global meditations reduce stress, increase planetary coherence, and alter atmospheric energy. Millions meditate simultaneously on solstice. Satellites detect subtle shifts in Earth's magnetic field. Hospitals report a drop in ER visits that day. Consciousness proves collective. Group intention becomes a real force. To track meaning in the mystery, people turn to synchronicity tracking apps. Users log signs, symbols, and meaningful coincidences. AI identifies personal and global synchronicity patterns and timelines. You track repeating numbers, dream symbols, and serendipitous events. Your app shows they spike around life changes, hinting at deeper currents. The mystical becomes measurable. Intuition gains data support. As access increases, mystical experiences multiply. Widespread access to breathwork, trauma healing, and psychedelics lead to surges in reports of oneness, divine contact, and non-dual awareness. More people report God moments while hiking, breathing, or simply being. YouTube is filled with raw mystical testimonies. Awakening becomes normal. The sacred becomes decentralized. To support this shift, global tribes unite through spiritual social networks. Decentralized digital platforms host digital rituals, inquiry circles, and intentional global energy focuses. You join a presence circle. 100 strangers from around the world meditate silently together, then share insights in real time. The seeker becomes part of a tribe. The age of isolation ends. 2029. Consciousness becomes the foundation of identity. Who we are shifts from ego to awareness. This shift is embodied through identity equals presence. People define themselves by how present, loving, or aware they are, not achievements or status. Biofields, coherence, and emotional quality becomes the new resume. Your profile doesn't list your job, it lists your current frequency. Grounded plus open-hearted. Human values redefined by inner state, not outer image. A new cultural North Star emerges, with culturally celebrated states. Being in gratitude, awe, stillness, or joy becomes cool. Influencers post breathwork sessions, not hustle schedules. Instead of showing cars or cash, creators share moments of deep stillness, tears of joy, or morning prayers. Culture shifts from stimulation to elevation. Supporting all of this is AI as spiritual mirrors. Meditation apps evolve into co-exploration tools. Your AI reflects insights back, detects growth trends, and helps map your consciousness evolution. You meditate, then speak to your AI. It summarizes, you access deep peace today. Let's revisit the insight from day 36. It echoes. Inner evolution becomes trackable. AI becomes a soul ally. 2030. The planetary awakening integrates. Consciousness becomes the organizing intelligence of society. Now, the transformation reaches governance through governance informed by awakening. Non-dual principles like unity, empathy, and presence shape conflict resolution, education, and policy through dialogue-based systems. A city hosts a conscious governance council. Opposing groups enter dialogue, not debate, until deeper understanding arises. Politics evolves into collective healing. Leadership becomes consciousness stewardship. This extends into the economy with spiritual economics. Value is redefined by alignment, purpose, and energetic contribution. New currencies or scoring systems track regenerative flow and heart-centered impact. Businesses are rated by soul alignment score and harmonic footprint. Consumers choose based on frequency, not branding. Commerce becomes conscious. Profit follows purpose. Even the home becomes a temple through sacred home technologies. Smart homes suggest rituals, moods, and practices based on emotional state, circadian rhythm, and soul cycles. Your altar space lights up. The system senses restlessness and plays grounding tones. It invites breathe, offer gratitude. Spirituality becomes architectural. Ritual becomes built into daily life. And finally, the whole world is reflected through the Global Consciousness Index. A live global metric tracks collective emotional states like fear, joy, grief, peace through anonymized data from wearables, media sentiment, and public dialogue. The world sees a spike in peace after a global forgiveness movement. Governments respond with compassion-focused public messaging. Consciousness becomes a global dashboard. Civilization aligns around coherence.